Friday morning or afternoon, depending upon what part of the globe you are watching the show. You are watching a live edition of Kiwanis Connects. I am Aaron Phillips. I am just driving the car for the one and the only, our leader, our head cheese, our head honcho, the queen of dance and alohas, Governor Val. How are you, my friend?
Aloha. I am doing great.
You look good today. You look good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The only thing I'm missing is my cowboy hat. So.
Well, are you like doing a rodeo today or something?
No, but President Burt has put a challenge out that any district that is distinguished gets it is a gorgeous platinum cowboy hat. And
Wow.
so I had my head measured because I'm not competitive.
I want to know, when you said that to Andy, what did he respond to that when you said, I'm having my head measured?
He was just like, did it grow?
I mean, that's, but did they capture like how your beautiful hair sits, how it'll sit perfectly? Did they take all that into account?
President Burt did. He actually has a measuring tape because it's a customized Stetson.
Oh, Stetson.
We're not talking a fake hat. We are talking the real deal.
Yeah, Stetsons are great jokes, man.
Yeah, they are gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. People have been doing such amazing things around the district. I already know that I'm going to be wearing a hat in October.
Right on.
I already know that.
Right on. That's good. That's good. Maybe they'll do one in Hawaii print Stetson, kind of thing.
I think I'll get a hat band. That's our Aloha trend.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Hey, just to remind everybody, as you're watching, whether you're watching us on Facebook on the WWDBTV or our channel, Kiwanis Connects, we thank you. If you like YouTube, guess what? You can go to the same channels on YouTube with the same names, WWDBTV.com. And of course, our channel is out there as well, Kiwanis Connects. Now, if you're driving around town, as you'll see Val later on, when she tells us where, I guarantee you, she ain't talking on the phone and watching. She may be listening. You can do the same by downloading WWDBTV to Android, WWDBTV LV to your iPhone product. And if you forget all of that, but you love Roku, that's okay. Download Roku. If you haven't already done so, if you have, then just simply set up the WWDBTV channel. And not only can you see all the wonderful shows that Governor Val and I have had the opportunity to present to you, but you'll also be able to see the multitude and the aplenty of shows that WWDBT. It's a new challenge every week now, John. The different many variety of shows that you can find on WWDBTV. Find yours, subscribe to the channel. The channel is growing. WWDBTV on YouTube is closing in on 6,000 subscribers, and they're just jumping on crazy. And we thank each and every one of you for watching Kiwanis Connects and any and all the other shows that are on the network. So our phone number, 702-992-3207. Listen, everybody, you're stuck with just Governor Val and I today because we actually have a lot we want to talk about as basically, clubs don't realize as we are now in May, basically this is like the last three-quarter poll. The fourth quarter, the last lap, whatever.
It's the third quarter. So don't sell us short so far in this relay. We're just in the third quarter. We've got 5 more months to go, and there's so much that can happen. So I'm getting giddy actually about all this. So
is it hard to? I shouldn't say hard. That's not the word I want to say. But it seems October 1st was just yesterday when you took office, and here you are now, May 1st, right? We got 5 more months left, or whatever the calendar is, right, until technically September 30th, when your year administratively ends. How would you categorize the first number of months? I mean, it's got to have gone by fast so far.
It's really flown. And I remember the 1st of October, I was down in Huntington, and the very first thing that happened is I'm getting introduced to do installation. The Blue Angels flew over the top of my head.
Oh,
and
wow.
I said, this is how I'm going to start. Wow. How is it going to end?
It would have been more impressive, though, if you were sitting in one of those Blue Angel planes.
I think that if we meet our membership goal, I can talk my friend into taking us up. It won't be one of the Blue Angels, but it'll be an F-14. And so I would love to be able to raffle off the second seat in doing that to anybody who throws the largest. I know people.
Do you know high people in low places or low people in high places?
I know I'm all over the place. And so
There you
you
go.
need all kinds of friends to be able to make this work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, there's no doubt in my mind you'll be flying front seat at the end of the year. And it'll just be fun to see who you'll be able to. It's like this, is like Survivor, when the person wins the challenge, and then Jeff says, "Well, you won, congratulations." Now, who are you taking along with you?
Yeah.
And then you piss everybody else off. But I know you won't do that. But I do. I would love to see you in the plane celebrating a year. Listen, from where I sit, of course, it has been a successful year on many, many fronts, because I think our show has mirrored that in terms of presenting all the wonderful successes that's going on right now in the Calneva district, as well as we have both seen in our chat rooms and people we've spoken to that our show is being watched and followed by people within international, or we certainly know nationally here, other governors, other members across the country. I mean, you and I talked about this early summer last year as we were kind of, maybe we could do this, whatever. And part of it, Governor Val, was not just to make it a Calneva show, but maybe make it a true expanded international show. And in some ways, we have.
Absolutely. And, I've been talking to a couple of our incoming leaders and talked about, can we adapt this on the Kiwanis level? So stay tuned. I think we're going to do that. And part of it is because of expertise that you bring and John brings to the process. And we've got other broadcasters out there. And so I want to say, hi, Claudia. Great to see you out there. And I know that we've got people, one of my friends from Belgium called in and she told me, I love your show. I watch it with my bunny slippers on. and it was just like, wow, this is totally cool. But you know what? I really want to jump in because I very rarely get to have just you.
Uh-oh.
And so knowing that we get this time together, it's just like mind-blowing to me. And I admire what you do. And so I think today's show is going to be fun because we really want to talk about, from your perspective, how does a club do some spring cleaning? And I'm not talking about going in and dusting off the old charter and all that kind of fun stuff. I'm really talking about how we present ourselves to the outside world. And so that's what I'm excited about today.
99% of the time, most of my career, John has seen me behind a microphone. It's rare that I get to answer questions instead of ask them. So it's like my heart is beating 1,000 beats in my chest here right now. It's like, wow, I'm answering questions. I think it's a great topic. And if things work out, I know they will. I'll be up there at DCon in August where I'll be presenting, I hope, a workshop on social media. But I think I want to classify it really, Val, under one thing, that's branding. Okay. And people ask, well, hello, John. Appreciate you watching as always. John B. Oh, we were frozen. We're frozen. Recycle through your channel. We are showing fine on this side. Hello, Leanne. I like the ideas you are looking into today. Perfect. Thank you, Leanne. So what is branding? And really, it's a way that people can quickly and simply identify who you are, and in some cases, what you are, right? So talking about, with the show of hands, if I say Golden Arches, do we not know who that is? Yes? Right? If we say, right? If we say, just do it, right? The Nike swoosh. And now, granted, those are companies, dare I say, that have marketing budgets, billions and billions of dollars, because they've been around for so long. So their ability to do things is different. John has raised his hand. Is your mic?
You forgot one.
WWDBTV?
Doing it with style.
Doing it with style.
Style.
It's called a cheap plug, ladies and gentlemen, for one multi-shows on the WWDB channel, which, by the way, the new one was released. Eileen Cohen and Aaron Phillips were the subject of Doing It with Styles. That show was just released. I'll share the link, sharing our health journey. Anyway, that with my wife on the show, it'll probably be one of the highest rated shows.
Back to me.
Yeah, I'm coming back around. He interrupted us. Anyway, so it's branding. What identifies people, even on my shirt, right? I have the voice. I have my logo. So that comes from identifying who you are, what you are, and what kind of message you want to get out there with that branding. You have the elevator speeches. I like slogans, okay? I titled my book for a reason. Let my voice speak to you, Okay. I do change it up if I'm sitting with a sponsor and I'll say, let my voice speak for you, because that's what I do for sponsors. Who you are, create an identity. And then once you create that identity, then branding will more or less kind of start beginning to show itself when you start figuring that stuff out. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does. And, one of the things that I've been sharing with clubs is to really look at your community and the best thing that you do. What's your signature service project? And come up with a slogan. It's kind of like what they do up in Red Bluff. It's like, we feed the children. And with that, it's like everything spins off of something like that. Or looking at some of the other clubs that are out there, we put the smile on kids' faces and they focus in on playgrounds. It's looking at what you do best. And so I love it. And have you seen any things that clubs use that you think might be able to adapt?
Well, I think, you kind of hit it on the head. And I remember when I was involved in day-to-day Kiwanis, where we had those club surveys, right? Remember those things? I don't know if those things even exist or out in the resources, but that is a tool to help identify who you are. Now, we can use Vegas, and I'm sure we'll get some, there you go. You just talked about it from Leanne.
Yes, absolutely.
If any other club members from anywhere that's listening and you have an identifying slogan, please shoot that in the chat room so that other members and other clubs can kind of get some ideas. But those surveys for clubs, you're almost talking like a mission statement. They have every community is different. Vegas, I mean, we're lights and glitz and glamour, and people don't realize we're just like any other city where we are a melting pot of situations, family situations. Not everything is good, not everything is bad, but we have to service everybody. It's hard to say, specific. I think that's got to be determined by each club. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to dodge the answer, but I can't come up with a cookie cutter that's going to work. I mean, like Leanne's that she shared in there, that works for her and their club. Maybe another club in another area might be able to use the same thing, but they have to figure out what's best for them. They have to put a target, literally like a dartboard, and figure out what the bullseye is. And
absolutely,
that's talking to members. That's even reaching out to past members who are maybe no longer active for one reason or another. That could be part of the brain trust and getting them re-engaged in Kiwanis again, get their feedback. Next thing you know, you have some new members, new old members coming back in as well. So there could be multiple uses for that.
And one of the things that I saw today, I've just got out of a Kiwanis meeting. It started at 6:30 this morning. It was the most energetic experience. Oh no, it was fabulous. One of the things was that two people who are periphery to our normal club meetings, they serve us and they run the restaurant that we're at, asked, how do we join in? Because you guys have fun while serving kids. There's our tagline. And they signed up and are members of our club because I think we do have fun in Greater Turlock. And that's a tagline. But you talked about the ACE tools. Those are available. And the ACE tools cover a community assessment, looking at what's needed. They talk about what your membership experience is all about and member satisfaction. And I know that this started long before I was a Kiwanian. And so probably when you were wearing your fun jacket back east, the ACE tools are being developed. And so they're available at kiwanis.org/ACE, ACE, and you can find them. But, when I look at, looking at my notes, when I look at a lot of the different web pages that are out there and look at the Facebook presence and all those kind of things, there are a lot of ones that say, why should I come back? But I know that there's also a lot of them that go, wow. And so for you, what's a wow?
About being in Kiwanis?
Yeah, and when you go to someone's club's website, what would make you want to come back?
I want to see, and I want to read excitement. And when I say see, I mean I want to see a video. I want to see pictures. I want to see what the interaction's all about. Words can only do so much. We know that because texting can be a bad thing when you're trying to send emotion and the wrong emotion goes, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to just go onto somebody's landing page and just read about them. I want to see member pictures. I want to see current member pictures. I want to see kids. I want to see projects, because the great thing about Kiwanis is we don't have any project requirements, right? We don't have you must work X number of project or hours. There could just be that one project on that landing page that catches the attention of somebody landing for the first time that goes, I've always wanted to build a house as part of Habitat for Humanity. They do that? Oh, let me grab my hammer. I'm going. Okay. So that landing page to me has to jump out, give me a little shock and awe. Now, you touched on something about pages. Okay. And when I land on a landing page, as I'm reading it, if I see a misspelling, I don't care what it is, the word the, T-E-H, Kiwanis Club, I will jump off that website faster than I would jump off a hot coal, because that tells me the club is sloppy, somebody's not managing the way it should be, or could even be a fake website. And I've had that happen. So editing and making certain your grammar is 100% accurate is, in my opinion, something very important for me, Aaron, to keep me engaged on that site.
You know, I think that whole correct grammar and spelling and everything people overlook, because it's the little details, like President Burt talks about. Don't forget the salt. Don't forget those individual details that will really make it exciting. I was just looking at a webpage, and I'm not going to talk about I'm not going to mention their name. But when I landed on it, unfortunately, it had pre-pandemic events. So everything was 2018, 2019. And I was just like, so does this club still exist?
And I don't want anybody, now, people that are in the chat room right now or watching on YouTube, I got to think they're somewhat knowledgeable. They're not beginners when it comes to social media, because they know how to find Facebook. They know how to comment. They know how to share. Okay. But that doesn't mean everybody does know how to do that. But the job of keeping social media current takes some commitment. We have to be honest about that. You know, a club, Douglas put messages in the chat room about some of the things that he would like to see of pictures of service projects. 100% right, Douglas, 1,000%. But somebody's got to take the pictures. Somebody's got to send the pictures to somebody else. If they're not the person doing it, then that person may be doing around a 40-hour, work week with kids and everything else. So it does take a level of commitment to do this. Now, if you have people in a club that are retired, that are familiar with it, can do it, and they can dedicate more time, then that makes perhaps a website easier to maintain to a current level. You can always hire webmasters to do it or people to manage it outside of the club. But again, you still have to have that communication. It's going to cost clubs money. So let's be clear here. Staying on top of social media is somewhat of a full part-time job. Yeah, full part-time.
But full part-time, kind of, sort of. But, I think this is a great recruitment tool. And because there are people in our community, they can't make meetings, but they're up all night and they love playing on Facebook and Instagram and Twitch and Twitter and all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah. And so inviting them to be the face of your group and being able to have them update. One of the clubs that I talked to a couple of weeks ago, they actually have 3 different people. And so they split up the week bites. And so they will go in and do all the answering post brand new stuff based on their night of the week. And so there are 3 shifts of changes every week. So it really makes it exciting to go in and see something new and see something fresh on the page, every other day. So
and what's nice about that too, before we go to break, every person doing that has their own style. They may have their own style of presentation and wanting to show something. So not only are you splitting the responsibility, but now you're letting those individuals have an opportunity to express themselves in a post that is their voice, so to speak, on behalf of the club. Gov, we're going to step aside for a break, and when we come back, we're going to keep talking about this stuff. I appreciate all the communication. If you want to call in and share on the line, my headset's ready to hear you. 702-992-3207. Give us a call after the break, though. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. Governor Val and I will be right back. International is a global community of clubs, members, and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children, one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year. For more information, visit www.kiwanis.org. Hi, everybody. Aaron Phillips here, inviting you to join me every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. right here on Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV on my show, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. I bring to you the movers and shakers of Las Vegas and really all around the world. It's also fun, entertaining, silly, goofy, informative, everything you'd want to be entertained by on a Saturday, except no politics, no religion. As I said, it's designed to be a fun show. Remember, that's every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, right here, Aaron's Hour, Worldwide Digital International is a global community of clubs, members, and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children, one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year. For more information, visit www.kiwanis.org. All right, welcome back. You like them apples there, Governor. You're watching, what show are we doing? Yeah, Kiwanis Cares, because we do. That's why. Jennifer from Hawaii is out there. Thank you so much. So in that little commercial break is something that could be part of the branding conversation, Governor Val. The first commercial that was seen was the general Kiwanis commercial that we created to help market and promote Kiwanis. And then the last commercial you just saw was that same commercial specifically edited, as we've been talking about and been offering, for a club to just take that and then edit their information at the end for contact information. That's part of branding.
Absolutely. And it's something that, you know, a lot of people, if you put it on your tagline as a link to at the bottom of your any emails or anything like that, so it makes it a vibrant piece. It's something that reconnects to your Facebook page or your Instagram. And so I love both of those commercials. And I think that any club is thinking about, we can't afford this right now. You really can't. You can't afford not to have something that is vibrant and innovative. If you just have static pictures, people won't come back because their attention span is a lot shorter these days, and they want to see a lot of stuff all at one time. And so, Aaron, I really appreciate the fact that you guys put together a commercial that really is all about Calneva. All those pictures in there are from our district. And so if you all have brand new pictures, please send them in, because I'd love to do another dashboard with all of that. But Aaron, it's like, how do we do it? How do we start? That's the hardest part for me, is how do we start?
In terms of the commercial you're talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, the nice thing is that we've made it very simple. That's a good thing. The one that you saw at the end there, where just brought up the club's information at the end, that's taking the existing commercial that we created that is also pinned on the Kiwanis Connects Facebook page. And for $75, Gov, that's it. All the club has to do is email me at KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com, KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. Let us know that you would like to take advantage of that, where we just edit the back. And for $75, and that's a contribution that goes to the existence of the show. This is not anything that the studio or myself, this really benefits Governor Val to allow us to continue bringing us these shows. And that's it. Simple. An email, tell us the information, we'll coordinate it, and you get it done. So that's the first one. And I know we'll talk about the other one here momentarily. The one that the other option is something where you basically, with some direction from you, create your own commercial. And our studios here will put it together just as John Crawford did for his club. And we'll show that on the next commercial break so that people can see a specialized, customized commercial. And then when we show that, I'll talk about the information on that as well. So we made it real simple, Gov. Just an email, give me information, and you're done.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You know, it's one of the things that I love to brag about with what we do. And just simply starting a meeting with that commercial is pretty amazing. It re-energizes. So for those lieutenant governors out there, starting a DCM with a couple of the commercials that have been done in your division, or using that commercial at a meeting when you're meeting with doing a takeover for the Chamber of Commerce, is showing your commercial is a great way to ease into it. And so I know there are a couple of other platforms that we can use those commercials on.
Correct.
Not always familiar. So what other platforms can we do?
Well, I mean, quite frankly, it depends on where the clubs are registered on their social media. So for instance, another one that's very popular is Instagram. Of course, you know, Instagram is hot I think Instagram is probably neck and neck, maybe ahead of even Facebook usage right now by a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. But it's real simple. When you get that commercial, John, you can answer this question real quickly. Can you upload separate videos to Instagram, or is it just linkage? Do you know?
I think it's just the link.
Okay.
Right?
So what we mean by that,
there's a time limit.
Okay, that's why I wasn't sure. That's okay. So all you have to do is copy what's called the URL, which is the information that is in that search bar at the top. Then just go to Instagram, go to your page, and then simply put in your little comments. Hey, everybody, Kiwanis Club of yada, yada, yada. Have you seen our newest commercial? Please check it out. Paste the link in there, and now people can see your commercial. And better yet, if you set it up in such a way, let it tie back to your club's website or Facebook page for direction. You don't want to just show this stuff with, granted, that last commercial we just saw does have the contact information, but we are a what? Push button society. So the easiest to make it for people, have that point back to a website or to somebody's email or something, so you don't miss an opportunity. So you have, of course, Facebook, Instagram. How about LinkedIn? Anybody have LinkedIn out there? Mostly a business site. Basically, you do the same thing there that you would on Instagram, right? Just copy and paste the URL of your Kiwanis Club's commercial, and now you've got the whole audience of LinkedIn. How about Twitter? Same thing. It's only copy and pasting links to these sites, Governor Val, under your Kiwanis Club's page, letting that commercial get out there, and then people will see it on those platforms.
So do you recommend that a club have a YouTube channel? I know I have a YouTube channel, and I'm always surprised at what gets linked in there. But do you recommend that clubs have their own YouTube channel?
I would say it depends on the amount of content, in all honesty. Okay. Building a YouTube channel in terms of subscribers is different than building a Facebook page with likes. You can invite people all day long. Well, with a limit, I think you can limit like 1,000 people per day, but you can at least send an invite for people to join. To get subscribers on YouTube, that's trickier, but it's harder because you have to promote the channel, and then people have to go to that little red bell and subscribe and like. So it does take a little more effort. I would just simply say this: if you're thinking about a YouTube channel, you make sure you have to provide enough content that makes it justified for that channel. And this goes back to good branding and social media. Whatever platform you're using, you can't post something once a month. Okay, some rules of thumb, depending upon who you talk to, is 2 to 3 posts maybe a week on a Facebook page. Okay, if you're going to post one comment a week or a month, or just post pictures of an event, there's no interest there. You can invite people to the cows come home, but if they see a skeleton stuff, people are not going to like the page. Same thing on YouTube. Same thing on Instagram. You have to grab people's attention with content.
You know, that's one of the reasons I love the Southgate Kiwanis pages that are out there. When you see Southgate, they change every week, and there's something very dynamic about it. And the one thing that they do, and it's a serious shout out to Armando, who's their president and soon to be lieutenant governor, is that he tags a lot of people. So I'm always one of like 94 people that gets tagged. So it shows up on my page and it shows up, so it's kind of like pyramid marketing, I guess. But I find it fascinating about the tags.
I'm glad you brought that up because I do the same thing on my posts. I mean, I do it when I post our show promos. I tag as many people as I can. What does tagging mean? Well, it means exactly what it says, tagging. Like, think of the game of tag. You're touching somebody and they continue to extend the game that way, or like dominoes, or like the old telephone game. I guess it's really a better way to do it. It's like a modern version of telephone. But you are limited to 100 maximum tags in a post. Like on my pages, I have almost 5,000 friends on my page. So when I post promo for Kiwanis or any of my shows, I literally try to make the most of my 100 and tagging people. Like for the Kiwanis show, I know I'm tagging our followers who I'm friends with in Kiwanis. Then I look at the rest of my list and say, who else I think might be interested in this? Now, that's perfect. Now I'm going to use you as an example, Governor Val. So now I've tagged you in the promo post for today, right? Okay. Now, if you read the promo, I say you in general, not you, but at the bottom of the promo, I put a little message on there that says, please note, copy and paste this information direct to your wall so everybody can see it from your wall. Now, why do we say that? By tagging, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to show up on your wall fully for your entire friends list to see. It's going to show up in your news feed. That's all it goes. The only way your 5,000 friends will see it, ladies and gentlemen, is if you literally copy and paste the text that is out there, go to your Facebook page, hit post or comment, I guess is the actual word, paste the verbiage in there, and then you can put your own comment at the top. Hey, just reminding everybody to watch Kiwanis Connects tomorrow. At least now your entire friends list has an opportunity to possibly see that post. So sharing the promo post that is put up by me doesn't do it. It only shows the in your newsfeed. That's it. You've got to copy and paste that. So tagging is what I like to call the spider effect, Governor, because if we can get most businesses, one person, tells 10 people, tells 15, that's what tagging is supposed to do. And you can do the same thing with hashtags, which is a whole nother topic of conversation. On LinkedIn and everything else, they rely on hashtags more so tagging. And it's just ways that I don't even want to get into boosting to get an audience. That's a whole nother topic. But tagging is a great way to play that internet telephone game of how we can get the message out. And that's important. And if you're tagged, accept it, use it, copy and paste it, and put it on your wall for others to see.
I'm going to back up a little bit because for some of us, even that whole copy paste thing, it's just like people are going, I'm not sure I actually completely understand that, so I'm going to just share it. And I'm guilty of that because do you just go into the actual post itself and copy everything?
So
go simple for me.
Okay. So my first question to you when you do that is, by the way, Leanne, I don't know if you saw her message. She goes, tagging is a good idea. I didn't think of this. And she wondered why I pop up on her page all the time with the promos because I tag her name. That's why she sees it. And she is one of those people that does share the promo. Okay. Now, so my question to you about copy and paste, are you thinking about, do you sit in front of your laptop to do that? Or do you like to use your phone mostly?
I like to use my iPad.
Okay, well, a computer other than a device other than your phone. Okay,
Correct.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, I guess. But on a computer where you have a mouse-like feature, you go to the text box. If you have a mouse, the easiest thing to do is you're going to put your cursor, that's a little blinky thing, at the very beginning of the paragraph where everything starts that you want to. Okay, you have to put it there. Now, you're going to hold the right button down on your mousey, and you're going to roll it down over all the words, and all the lines should start turning blue because that's basically what you're copying. And when you get to the end of the promo, that's where you just simply release the button because now everything you want to highlight everything you want to copy is highlighted. Now, you put your cursor in anywhere that blue field. You right click again, and a little dialog box will pop up that says copy.
Okay.
Perfect, right? Now, you go to your page, Governor Val, and you want to create a new comment. So you go to the comments at the very top where you want to put a message. Guess what you do? You take a little mousy thingy, get that cursor into that box, and then you right click again. Now you get another drop down that says paste. Once you hit paste, it's like magic. David Copperfield has entered your computer and he has magically moved the words from here to here, but not deleting the original post. You cannot affect my post by accident. It can't be accidentally deleted by you when you copy and paste it. Now, I do include pictures in my posts, so you don't have to. The copy and paste will not take the pictures into account. It's just the text. Okay. Then what you do is at the bottom, you'll see a little blue figure outline. If you click on that, that's your tagging feature. So before you hit post, if you hit that little blue button there, that looks like a person's head or really a shooting target, actually shooting gallery target is kind of what it looks like. Then your list of friends will come up. And now you can select all the people you want to see that promo post. And then you just hit post and like magic, there it is. Now, if you want to copy the pictures, then you have to go back to the original post, click on the picture, and then just download it so you can then add it as a picture in your post. Most people don't need to do that. Most people just copy the text. That's perfectly fine. Now, why do I say it's different? Because on a phone, and I can only talk about Androids, when you go to a post that you want to copy and share, copy and repaste, all you need to do is pull up that post. You put your finger on your phone in that entire copy box area where the word is, until you'll see a quick little dialog box that'll quickly come up and say copy text. And with simply one push of a button on top of that text, we'll copy everything that's there, go to your page, go to the comment section, you hold your finger down, or you on your phone, move the cursor into that comments box, hold down your finger in the comments box. All of a sudden, the word paste will come up in a little tag crawl box. Click on paste, everything is there. So your phone, it's push, copy, push. On your phone, mouse, drag, highlight, drop, and paste in the other box. Now, I'm theorizing here, Governor Val, that when we get up to DCON in August, that these will be some of the things that may be reviewed at somebody said possible workshop at that time.
Hint, hint. Yes, indeed. So,
Right.
And I thank you for simplifying it, because one of the things that people keep telling me over and over again is the social media is too complicated. It's too hard to do. And when you talk about the way you just did, I know that Mom Flo is going to start posting like crazy and tagging everybody in the family, because it really is. If you start off your day when you're going out there and you see something,
Right.
you literally could use your first minute and post something, and that will make a huge difference, because it means that people come back to your page, and that makes it really exciting. So thank you. I know a lot of people are posting in there. So Herman said, thanks. Now it makes sense on this whole tagging thing.
Thank you, Herman. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Because sometimes people make it too complicated.
Right.
And
yeah, absolutely.
Social media doesn't need to be complicated.
Now, Douglas puts in there, you can search tags on social media to find like content. And I want to just clarify that I did not know you can do that when you tag somebody, but you can do that with hashtags. That's searchable. So for instance, if I, at the end of my promo, put hashtag, which is the # Kiwanis Connects. Now, anybody who goes out on social media at all, whether it's on Twitter or Facebook, if they search the # Kiwanis Connects, everything that hashtag or tag is on will come up. All right, Douglas just corrected it by saying hashtags. So you're using that hashtag sign as something that's searchable, not a tag. When I tag your name on it, that does not come up. That is specific to that post that I'm making. But the hashtags, which you can use on Facebook, LinkedIn, all over social media, you use that hashtag, one post can get to everybody real simple if they go into Google and search for something specific.
And I have one of those random points of interest. Do you know that hashtag Kids Need Kiwanis started in CNH?
Did it really?
It really did. It was an idea of one of our regional advisors, Stacy Moriartis, and our governor at that point in time picked it up, thought it was the coolest thing, and made 100 shirts with hashtag Kids Need Kiwanis, and it took off from there because our international president, Dr. Button, thought this was the coolest thing, and it went viral, and it's been magic ever since. And so our district was the innovator for the hashtag process. And so then the next one that we've done is called hashtag Kiwanis Strong. And I know that we've used Kiwanis Strong in Las Vegas and Kiwanis Strong during the Paradise Fires. And so being innovative is coming with a great idea and then applying it out there, and it catches on. And so like this show, it's like, whoa,
Right.
you guys could do this. Any club could do this kind of show. I know that our friend John would love to have you do a show on a regular basis. So am I speaking out of turn, John?
No,
You won't. Come up. And that's because the way that the studio is set up, Governor, I want to just clarify for anybody watching, you don't have to be in Vegas to host your own show. As you see, wrong way, Governor Val over here, okay, obviously she's not in studio with me like she was a couple of weeks ago. She's in Cali. With the benefits of video linking, like you see in your newscasts. It's like me in the newsroom and Governor Val is out there reporting on something out somewhere. It's all that this is. So you can host a show from anywhere that you want, from the comfort of your office, your home, or wherever you want to do it. And John can. So if you're interested in wanting to learn more about that, you can also message me and I'll be happy to start giving you some information. Again, that's KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail. I do want to say something, though. Go back to the hashtags, and I'm glad that was brought up. You talk about branding, right? Clubs will generally order T-shirts for certain events, like K1 days or races or something, really their annual service project. Guess what? You can put now on the shirt, hashtag Kiwanis Club of, or Kiwanis. You can use those hashtags as part of the branding of your club and information. Okay. So same thing like you talked about earlier. I love the idea of adding that video or the commercial into signature lines in your emails. That's a no-cost way of promoting the Kiwanis Club. Very simple, because how many emails a day do you send out? And people, hundreds, tens, whatever. Even if you send one, doesn't matter. Have a new prospective member, new somebody looking at the club. Send them your email. It's going to have that on there to take a look at. Have you seen my latest interview on Kiwanis Connects? Here's the link. That should be up there. So these are all little ways of branding, which then allows everything to sort of flow. I want to step aside a few minutes early, Governor Val, because I want to make sure we leave enough time to show the commercial that John Crawford had the studios here, WWDBTV, on your behalf and Kiwanis. He had customized. That's the other option of commercial to help market your Kiwanis Club or project. You're watching Kiwanis Connects.
you want to do that?
I want to do that right now. Yes, right now, John. Right now on break. Don't mean to wake you up back there. The Granville Allied Gardens Kiwanis Club was founded in 1960. We provide service to Allied Gardens, Granville, San Carlos, Del Cerro, and surrounding communities of San Diego. Our support extends to the youth of our community by sponsoring programs at Hearst Elementary School K-Kids, Lewis Middle School's Builders Club, Patrick Henry High School's Key Club, and San Diego State University Circle K. Some of our favorite events and charities we support include the First Friday Concerts in the Park, patriotic holiday flags on Waring Road, Meals on Wheels, Cub Scouts, and the Allied Gardens Little League. Join our club. We are looking for people who care about making a difference for our children, for our community, and for our world. For more information about our Kiwanis Club and becoming a member, please visit www.alliedgardenskiwanis.org.
Morning.
All right, welcome back. So, John Crawford, that's John Crawford's club out there. I haven't seen him in the chat room yet, but that doesn't mean he's not listening somewhere, somehow, some way. They commissioned the other option of having a commercial, a completely customized commercial done for their club, Governor Val. And it's great because as you give me your comments on that commercial that was done just for his club.
Well, the thing that I loved about it were all of the active pictures that were out there. If you looked at all of the different things that were moving, it was like, how can you not get excited and interested? When you see all of the kiddos and everything that's going on, I'm so impressed. And Grantville Allied Club multiple times, but it first started with the service projects. So they didn't first jump out at you as Grantville Allied Gardens. They jumped out at you with what they do and how they impact the community. So like Douglas said, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So.
Well, Douglas, you're going to be waiting a long time for that. Anyway.
No residuals, Doug. No residuals for you.
You didn't get the check? It must have been lost in the mail. Anyway, but that falls in line with what Douglas actually put earlier in the comment section. And one of the things that he likes to see is information and pictures of service projects, just as you highlighted. And you nailed it on the head. Their idea of the commercial was to shock and awe of what we do first, what we are about, who we do it with, and then start putting in, hey, if this interests you, here's how you get involved. Now, that's a great commercial. Now, Leanne put a link in the chat room for their club's commercial on Vimeo, which was done before we started this part, which is also a brilliant commercial. Check it out because it may give somebody other ideas. So if you or your club, lieutenant governors, if you're out there listening, this should be something you're promoting to your club presidents and even your incoming LTGs for next year, under the auspices that this show will be back on the air going into next administrative year. You have three options real quickly. You want a 30-second commercial? It's only $200. Governor Val, how much does one new member pay to join a Kiwanis club?
They usually pay $150 to $250.
So on average, what you're saying is one new member covers the cost of that commercial at any time, right?
Absolutely.
One. Okay. Now, if you want to, that's for 30 seconds, 60-second commercial, $250. Still sounds like could be just one new member anytime that commercial's airing. Now, if you want a full 90-second commercial, it's $300. So what's that, about 1.5 new members roughly?
Or one corporate member.
Or one corporate member over the lifetime that you're running that commercial. Something that I think you said earlier, or maybe I just dreamed it up last night, I don't know. How can you afford not to do this if you're not branding your company, your club well enough? If you're not getting the message out there, you want a tool that basically sells your club by itself in a way. How can you not afford to do this? Now, Kiwanis Connects info@gmail.com. We do need pictures, the script writing involved and things like that. But guys, for $200 to $300, depending upon the length of commercial you want, how can you afford not to? And again, the donation or contribution, whatever you want to call it, really helps Governor Val keep the show on the air so we can keep doing stuff like this, right?
Absolutely. The greatest things came up in the conversation. Yes.
Let's ask a question there that I'll have you answer if you don't mind.
Can we buy commercials from
Sorry.
You can do it from either. So we're talking over ourselves because I get so excited, Doug. Thanks for asking the question. But it can come from either account. And when you're covering all of your service, you can do that. If you have more money in your admin, there's some clubs that have more money in their admin account.
What happened now?
You can do that. But one of the things that I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to do this shout out to my friend Melinda, who owns the Togos out here in Turlock. She got so excited when she found out how much the commercials are because he invests over $1,500 to do a 30-second commercial. That if they co-brand as a corporate business, and so they're going to show handing out free Togo sandwiches in the park, and they're going to be wearing their Kiwanis and Togos gear. And think about the benefit to your corporate and business members to your club by being able to co-sponsor a commercial. Maybe you can do 3 or 4 of them because it's already part of their operating budget, and so it's just a business expense for them. And so find somebody to help post your commercial and be able to move.
Yeah, then they can be prominently displayed in the commercial. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You know, we've got the Kiwanis Connects.com. Thank you about that. And, you know, if you don't want to put your toe in the water quite yet, Kiwanis International does have some older videos that they've got out there. There are Kiwanis.org based, and there's no information about your clubs, but you can play them on your public broadcast channels. Sometimes you have a community information board that is free with your local television station. And so if you did one of our commercials or showed a Kiwanis commercial, that works really well. But, you know, before we go, Aaron, there was one thing I did want to make sure we talk about that every club can do in 5 minutes after this show. And that is looking yourself up. Look at put it on Google or whatever. Google your club. I think you'll be surprised at what you see or what you don't see about your club. And so, Aaron, have you ever Googled yourself?
I have, and it scares the daylights out of me what comes back.
Weekly.
Weekly. Daily. Yeah. It's frightening what you can find. It's a good thing I have a split personality because the other one balances me out. Yeah, I do. And especially my before and after pictures, it scares the daylights out of me. But anyway, but it is a good thing to do. I mean, obviously we're talking about it individually, but you'd be surprised because now with the way, and again, social media is by far not a perfect and protected platform. We know, people are cloning and hacking accounts left and right and things like that. So it does happen. But if you do search out there, you may find something that you didn't know was out there. That, and if I may, I'm just going to give a really crucial example of said something. I had a Twitter account, and I say had, that was discovered earlier this year that there were some comments being made on my page, a response to other tweets that were being used off of my page that I didn't post at all, that got me in the crosshairs with my off-the-air employer that I was under investigation for a day or two to validate that that was not done by me personally, that it was a hacked account. And so I had to delete I deleted the account, got rid of everything. So and fortunately, I was cleared of all wrongdoing. It sounded like I got out of like jail or something. But it can happen. And so by Googling yourself, Googling your club and things like that will give you an opportunity to see just what's going on under your identity. It's all part of that identity issue. And I'm going to segue here. If you want protection of that kind of stuff, there's a show on this network called Cybersecurity, Cyber Awareness. That's a show people should tune into if they want to protect their social media for themselves, their business, as well as for their club in this case. Can happen.
There are so many horror stories that are out there, and I will share with you one of the things that you want to make sure about is on your web pages, oftentimes you'll have a donate now to Kiwanis, or you'll have a pay your dues here. And so you'll want to make sure those links actually go back to your club account and not to someone special. And I discovered that someone had hacked my governor page and they had a donate to Kiwanis, and Kiwanis was misspelled. And it actually went to, I'm sure there is a prince in Nigeria that has new Nikes with all the donations that my family said they made in my name.
Wow.
And so it's really important on a regular basis to just take the time to look at your security that's out there. And it's also to make sure that when you look up your club, it's going to your. So.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So again, that's all part of protecting your security, and those who are going to manage your social media should be aware of said traps that could be out there. Okay. I get friend requests from people on Facebook that either are missing their profile picture, or I already know that I'm friends with, and I look at that quizzically and I'll contact the person who I know I'm already connected with. Hey, did you know? And 99% of the time they're hacked or cloned accounts and they have to be reported. But that 1% of the time somebody said, yeah, I did create a second account because blah, blah, blah. but at least you verify it. So anytime you get that, please be careful and conscious. And we're not trying to scare anybody off social media. Nowadays, social media is where life happens right now. It's like now the electronic golf course where people do business and connect with each other, rather than newspapers and billboards, right? So anyway,
so in the last,
we do have about 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you, what are 3 top tips that, and when we're doing our spring cleaning and our social media and our websites and all that, what are the 3 top tips that you want to give? Because remember, I'm interviewing you. So what would that be if you could encapsulate?
I've been trying to flip the switch to get it back the other way, but it's not working. So are you talking 3 top tips across the board or in a specific area?
Just in the whole cleaning up your club and doing spring cleaning.
Okay. Spring cleaning, the key thing is when you're looking at there's 2 ways to do that. Number 1 is, of course, your membership. Okay. Tip number 1, if somebody is, spell check. There you go. Well, yeah, I mean, that's absolutely right. Spell check and grammar check by sure, because that's how you can validate if a website is truly accurate or not, including your own. You want to make sure that is correct. So actually, a lot of the tips that I would give, we've kind of talked about in some fashion. But if you're talking about spring cleaning for membership, if someone's not showing up for whatever the reason, you've noticed someone's not there, has anybody in your club called the person and reached out to them? Maybe there's a reason that they're not there. Do not forget about members. That's the one thing that's aggravated me with Kiwanis over the years. When I had to close, when we closed the Kiwanis Club of the Lake some many years ago, and I was as involved as I was with all the Kiwanis clubs, not one club, not one, until 2 years ago, the Centennial Club, which is a brand new club, and Christina von Lindenberg reached out to me. Not one of the longstanding Kiwanis clubs in this town ever reached out to me to say, hey, are you okay? Would you be interested in joining? What's going on? Reach out before you spring clean them under the carpet. Okay, so that's number 1. Look at your personnel roster. Number 2, we've kind of talked about it. Make sure what you're doing is current. Okay, don't sit around in a meeting when you have new people there talking about projects from 30 years ago and how great they were. Somebody walking in right now wants new ideas. Keep it fresh. Keep it lively, please. And number 3, if you're going to stay on social media, make the content worthwhile. Get a schedule like Governor Val said. Do a couple of posts at least a week on your Facebook page or LinkedIn. Whatever you're going to do on social media, one key word, and that is consistency. Without consistency, it's not going to work. People wonder where you are and what happened. When they look at posts from 2019, or like you said, pandemic stuff still on their pages as their most current, that's going to raise a lot of eyebrows for people looking at your Kiwanis Club as to if it's worthy to join, or even in that division potentially. So those would be the couple things that I would be very concerned about.
I want to add a couple of things because I've been thinking about this a lot. One of them is to remind your communities about what you're doing, because a lot of people think that Kiwanis do magic fairies work in the middle of the night. And the reality is that your Kiwanis clubs are doing so much good in your community, and celebrate all the things that you have. Maybe it's putting in an article, and even in the newspaper. I know that's hard to believe that some towns still have paper newspapers, but there are a lot of us that look forward to the community newspaper. So seeing ourselves on the front cover of that paper, like Herman, my face was on it from the Valley and the Deserts newspaper. I didn't get that one right, but wow, that was the coolest thing. I'm going to show my mom when I see her. And the other piece of the puzzle is really wear your gear everywhere you go. And in your pictures, have your Kiwanis gear on. Show off your gear on your Facebook and then your Instagram. And just show how much fun you're having while you're doing service. It doesn't get any better than being a Kiwanian.
You said it right. We talk about branding. This is really what all this boils back to. We're walking billboards. Okay, right here. Here's a walking billboard, just with my own logo, my own company. You've got Kiwanis or whatever you have. We are walking billboards of whatever it is that we want to represent. And what people forget about that, we are also representing not only just what is on our hat for people to see, but we are a visual representation of what we are representing. So we need to keep that in mind too, that we're proud to wear our Circle K. This logo, look at it, I did it right on the first get-go. This logo right here is branding, right? The logos behind me for our division and for Governor Val, these are branding items. Kiwanis, the name itself, we are not an airline company, people. That's why we need to make sure people know who we are. And we are walking billboards, and that's a great idea, Governor Val. Your hats, your shirts, and when you print that up, put that hashtag on there. That's how you get used to that.
Yes.
So good stuff. I've enjoyed today. Can I switch seats now?
You can have it back. Yes.
We are winding down. So actually, I think, we're winding down. Give me one or two things that you're hitting the road on this week. I don't know if we have time to play the over, but go ahead. I'm playing it because he enjoys playing it, or you, Val, because you love the honking horn. I'm not sure.
That is so me. So I love it. So in a couple hours, I'm headed down to Corona, and which is in Southern California, and we're going to have a governor's visit down with Bob Pryor, and I'm very excited about that. And I get to actually go to the Kiwanis family house at the end of next week.
Oh, cool.
And have a governor's visit with all of the Sacramento and Davis and Stockton clubs. And so a lot more mileage being put on the car, all for a good cause. I want to see our club showing off. So thank you for letting me tell you about where I'm going to be.
No, absolutely. And I want to remind everybody about the Kiwanis Family House. We had that little challenge we talked about last week at the DCon. I know since we're running out of time, I will not spend the time reviewing it, which means you have to go back to last week's show, either on Facebook or on YouTube, and check out what we promised. All right. Final thoughts as we say goodbye.
Aloha. Aloha means I love you, hello, and goodbye. But it means that we'll also see each other again. So aloha to all of you. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And thank you for everything that you guys do.
Well said. And I had a joke picked out, and now I can't find it because I turned the page. No, it was a good one. It was really funny. I just hope nobody would get mad at me for saying it. So anyway. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. My God, tomorrow is Saturday. Thoughts Count Anywhere, 9 to 11. Aaron's Hour from 12 to 1. I will share this one because I think I have it by memory. God, if I get it wrong, I'm in so much trouble. Please, no disrespect to our female ladies, friends out there, but you guys, I'm sure, Governor Val, you've seen the latest craze on Instagram about going braless nowadays and all that sort of stuff. You familiar with that?
Yeah, okay. You don't want to see that.
What does a lady think when she can't take a bra off at the end of the year, at the end of the day? It's a booby trap. With that, be kind to everybody. Why is that? Because we're all we got. After that joke, I'm not too sure what I got. See you next Kiwanis Connects. Bye, everybody.